Dear partners, good evening, dear friends, dear colleagues. Let's talk now. What should we do to help our body to cleanse itself? This is not our first meeting. This is already our second meeting on this topic. We're talking about our body and how important it is to cleanse our body from different harmful substances that we don't use or that we don't need already. We not just get rid of the toxins, but our task is to activate those processes that was disrupted by the toxins. This detox process is very important basically for everyone, because toxins, that is something that all of us are getting, whether we want it or not. For example, we are taking some medication, antibiotics, preservatives in food, some household chemicals, some fertilizers and pesticides that are used in agriculture. The water could be contaminated, air is contaminated. For example, the materials that were used during constructions or renovation, they could be very poisonous. They could release harmful fumes into the air, or some harmful manufacturing conditions for both workers on those factories and for people living near those factories. Use of plastics for storage, drinks and food. And obviously, if we live in the cities, there are plenty of cars. There's not a big amount of plants and trees which could purify the air. Our sedentary lifestyle, some bad habits like alcohol, uh, smoking tobacco products, which is harmful not only for smokers, but for the people around them as well. Excessive eating of sweets and salty foods. So what could we do? We have to remove the toxins because they are the problem of quite a lot of diseases. And everyone is concerned because all of us are getting those toxins. And we know that there are some important organs which are responsible for cleansing our body. First of all, it is our digestive tract, liver, kidneys, blood vessels, joints, and skin. We need to help all these organs to perform their functions properly. And we have to follow a certain order of those cleansing. How do we understand that we need detoxification? First of all, it is chronic fatigue, irritability, insomnia, and very often you hear that the first organ to cleanse, that is intestines. We know that the role of gut is very important. And there is quite a lot of microflora which lives in our guts, which is quite important for the proper functioning of our digestive tract. We need to have a normal microflora in our guts. 70, probably 80% of our immune system is working along the digestive tract. So that is why when we cleanse our guts, we automatically improve the functioning of our immune system. If we cleanse our guts properly, which means we're going to cleanse those things that stayed there. probably maybe the undigested food, and we need to restore the proper microflora. How do we recognize that we have some problems with our digestive systems? For example, we have flatulence, we have stool changes, diarrhea or constipation, or probably we have frequent heartburns or nausea, belching. We have diseases of the oral cavity, of teeth. We have stale breath. We have constant weakness. We have excessive sweating. In that case, we really need to cleanse our intestines. We have a specialized program how to clean our body, our intestines from the parasitic disease, but we have a special presentation devoted to that. I'm going to talk about that later. Liver is a very important organ. This is quite an important organ of our body. It is a huge biochemical laboratory of our body. Timely cleansing of liver and gallbladder is extremely essential for us. Liver is the largest internal organ of the human body. It is about 3% of our body weight. It is helping to remove the toxins from the blood supply. It regulates blood clotting. It maintains healthy blood sugar levels. And it also cleanses our body from the remains of the medication that we took. So that is why it is quite an important organ for our body. And each drop of our blood, which gets to our heart, first goes through the liver. And another thing is that liver produces the bile, which is quite important for our digestion as well. And if on this level we have problems, what do we feel? If we have problems, for example, if we feel that we have a spectrum of diseases, uh, but no disease is found, it is very likely that we have problems with the liver function. For example, we have bad breath. We have constantly bitter taste in our mouth. We have often fatigue. We have constantly very low allergy. We have frequent allergic reactions and so on. The third organs, that is kidneys. They're filtering the blood. And they are expelling extra water that we don't need, including some of the toxins and those chemicals that we don't need anymore. How can we recognize that we have problems with kidneys? For example, there could be some genitourinary diseases. Or, for example, we have kidney sand or stones or edema. We are speaking about edema in our face and in our legs. Cardiovascular system. Why is it important? Blood is quite important, which brings oxygen to all the organs in our body, and it takes back the CO2. And the blood vessels, this is quite important for us as well. It is quite, the health of the heart is vital for our body. If we have some problems with our cardiovascular system, how can we recognize that? Very often we have frequent heart aches. We have no energy. We have tiredness in the morning. We have blood pressure spikes. Or we have problems with veins. Normally, they are varicose veins. Sometimes we have thrombosis, and very often we can see that. Or sometimes our extremities could be damp and cold, like our hands or our feet. We have chills and we have edema. The next thing is our joints. Joints are quite important for us, for our activity. All of us understand that we have a backbone. We have to sit quite properly now, very straight. Our backbone is the main column for a movement of our energy. If we bend improperly, in that case, our energy is not flowing properly. So that is why joints are quite important for the freedom of movement. And the joint discs are quite important. We need collagen there. So, which means that our joints are quite important for our body, for the proper movement. For if here we have some changes, normally we have muscles and joint pain, which means that we have problems on this level. And the next level is skin. We mean here skin, our hair, and the nails. Why is it important? Because this is the organ which protects us of physical and chemical protection. Our skin is protecting us from different chemicals and microelements. So that is why it is quite important to have healthy skin. It is quite important to protect our body, our inner organs from the external influence. If we see some changes of our skin, changes of its color, we can see some irritation, some rashes. Or, for example, there's some irritation, some new moles. It is quite important as well. Or we can see cracks on the palms of the hands and of feet. Or, for example, we have a bigger discharge of mucus from the nose. Or we have some discharge from the vagina in women, which means that our body really needs extra cleansing. First of all, we need to cleanse that organ which is affected. If we manage to do that, then the activity of these organs are restored. This second level, we are cleansing the intercellular space. We're cleansing the lymph, which is quite important because lymph is flushing out the toxins out of the intercellular space. After that, we cleanse the cells. And here we're approaching the biomolecular level because we're able to remove the toxins from the intercellular space and from the cells. Those toxins which are water soluble, it is quite easy to get rid of them, to cleanse them. But part of the toxins are fat soluble. In that case, very often those toxins are hiding somewhere within our cells, and we need to get them out, and it's quite difficult because first you need to transform them from a fat soluble form into a water soluble form, because later on it is going to be much easier to get rid of them. And here I can tell you that we have excellent products. First of all, this is the fulvic acid. In that case, we need probably 10 to 15 drops of this liquid fulvic acid to 200 milligrams of water. This is our first stage. And the second stage, and polyprenols. And these polyprenols are quite important. Here we need also 15 to 20 drops to 200 milligrams of water at room temperature. These are quite important products. We're saying there either or. We can either combine these two products or take one of them. What can we suggest to all the 6 organs of which I mentioned earlier? What should we do if we recognize the problems of one of those bodies? We have a couple of products which we are offering in our programs, which can really positively affect all the organs which are mentioned. Aloe, first of all, we have to remember this plant was the humankind started to use it many centuries before Christ, at the times of pharaohs. Egyptians used that. It was called the lily of the desert. It is a desert succulent from Africa. Aloe vera is a very special plant which contains extremely important elements. It contains vitamins, enzymes, minerals, sugars, saponins, salicylic acid, amino acids. They have different excellent qualities. We understand that in aloe vera there is a molecule of acemannan, which is a kind of a conductor which regulates the whole substance, all these substances. There's quite a lot of water in aloe vera. It is not just water, it is a polarized water, which helps those which elements all to work together. It gets its signals from acemannan. What is the first activity, the first result? This is the activation of the detoxification of the body, a removal of the toxic components. Aloe is quite important for us because it gets to our cells much quicker than pure water. And it not just takes out the toxins, but it takes also heavy metals. It activates also the fats. So that is why if we have some extra fats, it helps to remove that excessive fat. And it also blocks inflammation that could hurt our body. So that is why we have this excellent plant-based elements that help us to fight against toxins. And it improves our digestions. It helps healing as well. And aloe vera has also the laxative functioning. We are not only get rid of the substances which got stuck in our gut, but we also feed the good bacteria. And if we have a gastritis or some ulcers, it could be healed as well. At the same time, we're supporting our immune system. We supported the immune system, and we're fighting against bad bacteria. We are supporting our immune system. We are stabilizing our body. And for example, if we're speaking about cancer patients, then the treatments of this patient is with very harmful chemicals, and aloe vera helps to remove them from the body. And at the same time, aloe vera has the rejuvenating action. And they are not just words, which means that all our body cells are going to be stronger, their quality is going to improve. So in that case, we are supporting the blood circulation as well, because the blood content is going to improve and so on. And we are supporting our blood vessels. We are improving the functioning of the heart itself. And we are improving the walls of the veins. So at the same time, we are improving the problem with the swelling of our feet and of our face. We're improving the conditions of our skin because we fed them with the necessary elements. We improved the collagen formation, which is responsible for the condition of our skin, of our blood vessels, of our joints. And it improves also the healing process. And at the same time, it is proven that when we're taking regularly aloe vera, in that case, our energy is supported. We feel that we are more active. We are using the excessive fat, which is not necessary to our body. It regulates our weight and the shape of our body. And at the same time, it is also proven that the protection of our body is improved, where our immunity gets better. So that is why we have this gel. Here is the gel. This is how it looks like. We have 4 tastes with vitamin C. This is with ginger as well. Dandelion, mango, and granite with melissa. We need to use the aloe gel not once, but better to use it 2 or 3 times a day. We have this cup which allows us to properly dose the gel. It is 30 milligrams there. So it is better to use half of this cup and up to 30 milligrams per dose. So For example, we need to support cleansing of the body, where at the same time, maybe we have some problems with the water retention in the body. And at the same time, we can some excessive weight. In that case, we can suggest the following products, a Balance and Drain Maxi. We have two flavors. This is with an apple taste and lemon. And at the same time, there are 7 other plant elements which are responsible for detoxification, which allow us to drain the excessive liquid and to support optimal waste. And there's aloe vera, white tea, and so on. To be able to optimize the use of the Drain Max, we need to take one portion in 200 milligrams of water, not chlorinated, and we can use 1 to 3 portions daily. And the next product, which we offer to all of you, this is Balance and Light. There are 3 different tastes or flavors, vanilla, coffee, and the forest berries. Normally, we suggest to use this cocktail in water, in normal water, and in the plant-based milk. Sorry, normal milk and the plant-based milk. We can use this cocktail immediately, and these cocktails are excellent that could be even taken as a separate meal. In our program, we can suggest the fulviant acids and prenovital. We have our cocktails, and we have already considered the main amount of these products. It is quite important to drink enough water. It should be just water, pure water. It shouldn't be a tea. It shouldn't be water with honey. No, it should be pure water. It should be a little bit more water than normal, and this water should be warm, because we're taking out the unnecessary element, and we have activated the cleansing processes. Who would need those products? Those people who have chronic problems, who have sedentary lifestyle, who have excessive weight, and so on. What do we expect from our products? We are quite sure that the weight is going to stabilize. We're going to control blood sugar. Well, we're going to improve our digestion system. The blood pressure is going to be normalized. Our body is going to be more resistant to different infections. Which means that we are going to return back to our optimal functioning of all our body. When do we have to consult doctors when taking our detox products? First of all, this is pregnancy time and lactation time. Then with the low iron levels, when we have a patient have active oncology, and when we have a very low blood sugar, it is quite important to consult your doctor, because maybe you would need some particular recommendation. It is quite important for you to decide yourself whether you are ready to act to support your health. These actions are relatively important. You have just to be quite consistent. I wish you all the best, and I am hope to see you next time when we're going to speak about fighting parasites in your body, and hope to see you very soon next time. Wishing you a nice evening.